Hello, it's Teacher Carrie here, and I'm back with another ManyCam tutorial. Today I want to talk with you all about effects, what they are, how to find them, how to store them, how to use them while you're teaching. And I'm actually going to be using one of the lessons that I'll be teaching tomorrow as a model of the way that I like to prepare for my classes. Now, I teach for VIP Kid. I've been with them for 6 contracts, and I've taught around 4,600 classes now. But of course, this video has not been sponsored by ManyCam or by VIP Kid, so hashtag not sponsored, and let's get started. Of course, you can look in the links in the description for more information on both ManyCam and VIP Kid. Let's take a quick tour of our ManyCam tutorial screen for today. Down below me here are my video presets in ManyCam, and off to the right hand side is my main menu. And if we look down our widgets here, we can find our effects widget. Now if you just need a quick tour of what these effects are and maybe how to use them, you can check out my video called Which Widget Do You Want? But today we'll be focused solely on effects. So now that I have selected my effects widget, let's take a quick tour of the things that we can see here. Across the top we have 3 little icons. We're actually going to start in the middle. This is our favorited effects, and as you can see, I don't have anything in here, and I'll explain why in a minute. And then we have face masks. I just have a few saved here, so if I want to be Spider-Man, I can pop Spider-Man up on my face, and when I'm ready to stop using that one, I can just click on it. And of course, there's a little Get More button. These will download more face masks directly from ManyCam, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. But let's say I just want to go back to my regular view of my effects. That's where this little button comes in handy. It's kind of like a home button within your effects widget. And that will just bring me up the view of all of my folders here. These folders did come preloaded from ManyCam when I bought the studio or paid version. I'm not sure if you get any folders preloaded if you are still using the free version, but you should if you're using the studio version. Now, you can see here that they have named these folders different things based on categories. So that's super handy, but let's say that you want to make your own folder, maybe based on a level or unit. In order to do that, it's very simple. Just click on this little folder with a plus button. It'll bring you up a way to name that folder and create it. I don't really need to do that, and again, I'll show you why in a second. The next way to get effects is to use this little plus button. This plus button will come directly from your computer, so if you've spent some time searching in Google and saved things to your computer, it'll bring them up here. So you can see that I have searched for some different kinds of dinos. I did that on Google, and I'll show you how to do that here in a second. And if I want to use one, I can just click on it there from this little Add from Computer button. It says Add New Effects there. And then this little button is a download directly from ManyCam, which I'll show you how to do as well. So now that we know what these buttons are, let's use our little search feature to find an effect, and I can show you what an effect is really. For the lesson that I'm teaching tomorrow, it's all about hobbies. Let's take a look at some of the things that might come up in the lesson. My lesson is going to be New Major Course, Level 4, Unit 5, Learning Cycle 1, Lesson 6. It's all about hobbies, and it's an assessment class. So there's some game board type slides throughout the lesson. And here are some things that we might need. Now, I'm not showing you the actual VIP Kid slides because of course there's some copyright issues surrounding doing that. So I just went through and looked for anything that I might want an effect for in class. That doesn't mean that I will use the effect with this particular student or that I need this many of them for every single class, but as we know, those assessment lessons in VIP Kid are usually longer than typical lessons, and my students should be familiar with the content. So I can sort of balance what I think he might know already because he's had 5 lessons in this unit so far with what I think might be new to him, and I want to find effects that will support his learning in that. So if I just look down my list here, maybe I will use some coins in class with him. He might not know what coins are. So if I go back to my ManyCam tutorial screen, I can just search in my effects for a coin. Now I've already downloaded this one from Google, So all I need to do is click on it in order to use it. And then of course I can move it around or resize it if I need to. And then when I don't need it anymore, I'm just prepping for classes right now, so I don't have to actually use it. I'm just going to click my little eyeball down here in my selected effects section to hide it. Then when I'm teaching tomorrow morning and I'm ready to use that little coin, I can just unhide it and now my student can see it on my screen. The nice thing about hiding these effects as you're prepping is that you can move them anywhere you want, make them the size that you want, and then when you hide and unhide them, they'll come back in that same location and size, rather than if I were to search them in my folder here, it's going to bring it up large again, and I'm going to have to move it and resize it to where I need it to be. But there is some difficulty with hiding a lot of graphics if your computer can't handle it. So my particular computer can handle enough graphics that I can make a preset for each of the 6 classes that I teach every day, building the effects into that preset so that I can use them as I'm ready. But your computer might not like that much graphics processing, and you may have to search live in your effects folders as you are teaching. It's very simple and easy to do. All you want to do is click this little magnifying glass and you can search for whatever you need. But be sure that you are in the view where you can see all of your folders at once and that you haven't clicked into a particular folder. So for example, if I had clicked into my animals folder and then tried to search for a coin, I won't find anything because there are no coins in my animals folder. So I want to be sure that I have the view of all of my folders, and to do that, I can just click that little back arrow if I've already clicked in to a different folder. Now, I really don't do a lot with these particular folders because I use this search function almost exclusively. That's also the reason why I don't have a lot of favorited items, because I don't need them. I can just do that search. But if you have a favorite item that you want to use, like a dino or something for every single class, you might choose to just click on its little heart, and now that will move that into my favorite item here. And if I don't want it anymore, of course, I can just unclick that little heart and it will disappear from my favorites, while still keeping it on this particular preset. So something to know about effects is that they don't transfer from one preset to another. You do need to use your effects menu to find whatever effect you need for the particular preset that you're working in. So for example, if I were to go to my list of effects here and I wanted to put a coin on this screen, in my ManyCam, I'd have to go and search again for a coin before I can pop it up onto this screen. Okay, so you do need to search effects for each different preset that you're using, which is why I tend to prefer to make one preset for each class that I teach. But again, my computer can handle the graphics processing that goes into doing that. So be aware that if your ManyCam is crashing all of the time, it might be that you have too much going on if you're using a virtual background in particular, and then trying to add effects in on the top of it. Now, of course, you can use ManyCam without a green screen, and you can just choose these effects to lay over your video feed, even if you have a real physical background behind you. So it's totally fine to do that. Next, let's search for another item that I might not have. If I look down my list here, it looks like I have a lot of these things because I go through each night before I teach and find the effects that I need for every lesson. But I'm pretty sure that I don't have a checkers board. So in order to find one, let's go over to Google and just search. So this is just a regular Google browser. I'm just going to put in here checkers. I'm going to search for a sticker GIF. Now, a sticker GIF is a GIF in that it moves, but the sticker part of it means that it acts like a PNG. It shouldn't have a background attached to it. That doesn't mean that they all are perfect and don't have any background attached to them, but for the most part, they work well. So let's see. I just searched checkers here, and I'm getting a lot of checkerboard pattern. Oh, here's one that might actually be a checkers game. Again, the lesson I'm teaching tomorrow is about hobbies, so it's the game of checkers that I want. So if I find a sticker GIF that I want, or if I'm not finding one under that term, I could search for PNG or portable network graphic. That's an image that generally doesn't have a background attached to it. Once I click into that image off of Google, all I need to do is pick it up and drag it to my computer desktop. And here you can see it there. And its name right now is Tenor, Tenor. That doesn't make any sense for this particular graphic, and that will make it difficult for me to find in ManyCam later. So what I want to do is just right click on it. It's going to bring me up a very large menu, long, and all the way down towards the bottom. So let me move this up so you can actually see. All the way down towards the bottom, it's going to have a rename option. Oh, you still can't see it. The menu is very long. Just click on rename, and I'm going to name mine Checkers. And now you can see here is my little Checkers sticker GIF. So when I'm ready to pop this into ManyCam, I just want to go to the preset that I'm currently using, the one that I'm building my lesson for, and I'm just going to drop it over my live video feed. That's going to bring me up a menu with 3 options. The first option is Add to Selected Layer. The second option is Create New Layer. And the third option is Drop as Effect. And unfortunately, while I'm filming this video, it won't let me actually show you that menu. But I always choose the third option, Drop as Effect. And there is my little checkers board, which of course I can resize and move anywhere I want it to be, and then hide it because I'm not really using it right now. Then if I want to, while I'm teaching, if I had selected my coin and my checkers board, it's going to pop the one that I clicked on most recently to the bottom of my selected effects menu here. So watch again as I click on this checkers board. Now it's moved my coin to the top and my checkers board to the bottom. So if you want them to be in a particular order, just click on them in the order that you need them so that the first one is always showing first and then next. So if you are clicking and moving them in class, it is going to reorder them, and sometimes it can be a little bit hard to see whether they're hidden or unhidden, but if you've just clicked on an image, it will always pop it to the bottom of your little effects, selected effects menu here. So again, it's very easy to find an image from Google. Just drag it to your computer desktop and then into ManyCam, but be sure that you do drag it to your computer desktop. You can't go directly from Google into ManyCam. It won't work that way. And then let's find some effects from ManyCam itself. And in order to do that, we can just hit this little download button. It says Get More Effects. And I'm actually going to pop you to another preset so that you can see all of the effects that come up here in ManyCam. So along the side here, right above me, are different categories that you could search through, or of course they have a handy dandy search feature here. And looking at my lesson for tomorrow, I think I might need a badminton racket. So let's search for badminton in ManyCam. So what I want to do is just go to my search feature, and I'm going to search badminton and see what comes up. There's all kinds of different options here. So I can select any of them that I like. Maybe this cute little panda. So if I want to see this cute little panda, all I need to do is click this download button. It will think about it for a second, and then it's going to pop it up on the screen. So again, because I'm working in a different preset than I was a second ago, this panda is now attached to this particular preset. So if I want to find it over here, what I need to do is search for the name of it. It was called badminton, and there's my little panda there. But as you can see, this one is not a PNG. It does have a background attached to it, so I sort of don't like this panda. From here, I have 2 options to deal with that. I can just click this little X over here on my selected effects menu to temporarily delete it, but it's still available in my folders. Or I can click this X in my folders view to delete it permanently. I never want to see that panda again. So I just deleted him permanently, and then I can go back to ManyCam and find one that I like better, maybe just the actual racket itself. So if I click download here, oh, This is a good example. Sometimes it spins and spins and it doesn't actually download. If it doesn't pop it up into the preset that you're currently using, it didn't work. Now, I don't know the reason for that. I don't work with or for ManyCam at all. I just like making these videos for you. My guess would be that they're probably crowd-funded images, or crowd-sourced images rather. So different artists or graphic designers may have created those images and then uploaded them into ManyCam. So their file destination types and things like that might not actually be correct. But again, that's total speculation. I have no idea. Maybe it's ManyCam itself just has a little glitch on a few of them. So let's try again. Maybe this little girl, I can download her. Oh, and that worked. There she is. She doesn't have any background attached to her. And then I can go back to my preset that I actually want her on. And looking at the name of her on this screen, you can see her name is Teacher Tommy Badminton. So again, that doesn't make a lot of sense for me while I'm searching later. So let's go into my screen that we really want. There she is. I can just click on her. And then what I want to do is actually rename this so that I can find it later. And in order to rename it, I'm just going to select all of this, Teacher Tommy Badminton Girl. And instead, I'm just going to write badminton. And then I'm going to click the enter button. And now she's saved as badminton instead of Teacher Tommy Badminton Girl. So now again, I can just hide her until I'm ready to use her. And I can make sure that she is in my folders by going back to my regular folder view. And there is a little orange circle with a 1 next to my GIFs here. That means I've added something new. So if I click on that in my folders view here, it's going to bring me up the folder of all the GIFs I've ever saved in ManyCam. That's going to be difficult to find the one that I want, although they are in alphabetical order. So I'm just scrolling very, very quickly here. I've saved thousands of effects so far as a ManyCam user, so it's really not efficient for me to click into a folder and then try to find the effect within that folder. I really prefer to just search using this little search feature here. And again, if I search for badminton, if I start typing bad, it's going to bring me up anything that has the letters B-A-D in their title. That's why this big bad wolf ended up in this search. So if I keep typing badminton, he will start to disappear as those letters don't match anymore. The nice thing is that I can actually have more than one thing saved as the name badminton. So you can see here is our cute little girl badminton, and here is just a badminton racket. So it's very nice that you don't have to come up with a unique name for each one. So you could have several different items saved as girl or boy or badminton or sports, and it will bring them up as you start to search. So if you have chosen to do a Google search and find an image, you can just name it anything that you will make sense to you so that when you are searching in ManyCam later, you'll be able to find it. And again, that's another reason why I don't use these favorited effects. I just honestly use this search button. And now you can see I'm starting to build my little effects in this particular preset. I'll put this little girl back up here and hide her. So I could continue to go through my list of different effects and find the ones that I want. Or when I'm ready to teach tomorrow, all I have to do is just search as I'm teaching. So I might ask a question like, what is your favorite hobby? And my student might answer basketball. So then I'll just start typing in basketball. I don't even need to type the whole word because it's searching for all of those letters in that combination. And then I can just choose whichever basketball I want to have. And again, I can just hide it until I'm ready, or if I don't want that basketball anymore, I can click its temporary delete button, or if I really hate this basketball, it's very ugly and I never want to see it again, I can just click this permanent deletion X here in my folders view, and now if I were to search basketball again, I won't see that particular one I just deleted. Now the nice thing about saving these presets is that you don't have to press any kind of save button in ManyCam. If I closed out my window right now and open it tomorrow, they will still be there. So that's super handy. Now those effects, again, you can search for terms like sticker GIF, GIF, or PNG just on Google. I find is the easiest way, because sometimes when I'm searching in ManyCam, I find that most of these images are just static images, meaning they don't move on their own, and I really tend to prefer images that do have some kind of motion on their own, like this cute little checkers board where the pieces are moving back and forth. So that's a view, just a broad overview of your effects menu. When I'm teaching, I really try to focus on things that will help my student understand the lesson. So if I go back to this list of things that I had found for this particular lesson I'm teaching tomorrow, my student knows what shoes are, so I really don't need to find shoes. My student knows what basketball is, so it's fun to put it up on the screen, but I don't really need to do that. One that my student might not know what this is dishes. So that might be one that I focus on just to make sure that my student can understand what I'm asking him or what he's reading about in class. So again, to find something for dishes, I just need to pop back over to Google. Let me get rid of that little, Google. And I can just go to the top of my Google screen here. I'm going to back out of this and I'm just going to say dishes. This time I'll just search for a PNG. That should just be a static object. This little stack of them here is pretty cute, and I can see this sort of checkerboard background. That usually means that it's a transparent background and that you'll only be able to see the dishes themselves. So I can pick that up and put it on my computer desktop. And here's another good example. Even though it has that checkered background, it's still showing the actual checkers. So I don't want that one. I'll just delete that off of my computer when we're finished here. So let me find one that doesn't have a background. Again, this does have a background. Even though I searched for PNG, sometimes it's hard to find one that doesn't have a background at all. Maybe this cute little stack of plates will work. I clicked one too many times. And sometimes the problem is that the image that you're looking at is not a royalty-free image. So people will put watermarks or things like that to alert you that you can't actually use that image for free. Yeah, I'm not coming up with a lot of dishes here, and honestly, I don't spend a lot of time searching for things like this because I usually teach 6 classes back to back, and I don't have time to search for 15 effects for each one, spending a lot of time on them. What is this? This one might be cute. Let's see if I drag it to my computer desktop. It does not have a background. I can see that in my little preview here, although it's sort of small. So again, I'm just going to right click on it, and it's taking a minute. Here's my little rename option. I'm going to call it dishes, and then I can drag it over the top of myself in ManyCam and select drop as effect. And now the dishes are part of my ManyCam screen instead of part of my computer backdrop screen. So again, if I go over here, now I can see that I've added one new GIF, and I can just search for dishes, and that will bring it up here. And then I can move it around and hide it as I'm ready to do that. So it's pretty easy to find effects. You just want to focus when you're teaching on things that are going to help the student understand, that will get your students' attention, that will move the lesson forward. So it's not a great idea to save 100 effects for each class. It will be very difficult to find them as you're teaching, and that's going to make your computer a little laggy in most cases, and it's not really helping the student all that much. You want to focus on the actual lesson objectives that you're teaching and things that will make it comprehensible to your student. So this video is getting a little long and I need to be quiet, so I'm going to go ahead and let you go, but let me know if you have any questions. That should be a fairly comprehensive overview of your effects and how to find them. I hope you have a great day teaching, and I'll see you later. Bye!